A review of Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros book. Content. Warning. Character. D. Growing up, books were my constant companions. It felt like I was born with a library card in hand, and my favorite place was the young adult section of my local library. I'd spend hours wandering the aisles, my stack of books growing taller with each pass. YA fantasy was my obsession. Fast-paced adventures, epic battles, and love stories that kept me turning pages long past bedtime. Just one more chapter always turned into several, and I was more than happy to lose myself in these worlds. Fast forward to today, and my reading habits have shifted. Between work, responsibilities, and the general chaos of adulthood, my reading time is squeezed into short moments. Between meetings, during quick breaks, or as a stolen indulgence before sleep. I've also become more selective, often gravitating toward contemporary fiction about real people navigating real problems. Lately, though, I've felt a subtle pressure to read only the right kinds of books, the critically acclaimed, the literary must-reads, as if reading for pure enjoyment is somehow less valid. And then, Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros came along. I didn't plan on reading it. Maybe it was the striking gold cover, or the promise of a war college for dragon riders that tugged at my old love for fantasy. Whatever the reason, picking it up felt like stepping back into a world I had long left behind. And honestly, I couldn't be more grateful. At its core, Fourth Wing is high fantasy with an irresistible premise. The story follows Violet Sorrengail, a cadet at Basgiath War College, where survival depends on bonding with a dragon, or dying in the attempt. As the daughter of a formidable general, Violet enters the school with a target on her back. She faces ruthless enemies, forges unexpected friendships, and finds herself caught in a romance that would have made my teenage self swoon. Her journey, from an underestimated underdog to a fierce dragon rider, is a thrill ride, full of danger, competition, and enough twists to keep the pages turning at breakneck speed. One of the book's greatest strengths is that it doesn't take itself too seriously. In a world where everything often feels heavy, Fourth Wing provides pure escapism. It was exactly what I needed to take a break from the pressures of real life. The romance, playful and addictive, Violet's dynamic with Xaden Riorson, a brooding, dangerous, yet undeniably charming fellow rider, keeps the tension high. Their telepathic dragon bond forces them into close proximity, leading to a relationship that is part banter, part intensity, and fully entertaining. It's dramatic, occasionally over the top, and full of moments that make you roll your eyes one second and grin the next. Now, let's be honest, this isn't a literary masterpiece. If you're looking for profound prose or groundbreaking storytelling, this might not be your book. Violet's inner monologue is full of lines like, flaming hot, scorching hot, gets you into trouble and you like it level of hot. Not exactly poetry. The plot relies on familiar fantasy tropes, including the classic Chosen One arc, complete with an ultra-powerful dragon and silver hair that practically screams destiny. Some twists feel predictable, and certain conflicts resolve a little, too conveniently. And yet, despite all that, I was hooked. The story is ridiculously fun. The stakes are high, and the sheer energy of it makes it impossible to put down. It taps into the pure joy of reading, the kind that reminds you why you fell in love with books in the first place. If you ever find yourself longing for the kind of stories you devoured as a kid, before reading felt like a status symbol or a way to prove you're well-read, then Fourth Wing is worth the ride. You'll laugh, you might even shed a tear. I did. But most importantly, you'll get lost in an adventure that doesn't ask for anything more than your willingness to enjoy the journey.